Hello everybody, welcome back. As you've just seen, I've been drilling through this big beam that's the other side of this wall. Got to be really careful drilling through these old beams. You've got a lot of heat on that drill and a lot of heat going into the hole that you're drilling, and of course you're creating sawdust. So I tend to drill for about 20 seconds and then spray some water in there and even spray it onto the drill bit so it cools it down. It's very easy to get a little spark, and when you've got sawdust around, it's yeah. So anyway, that's done, and I've taken the hole in the. I've put a hole in this plaster here so I can see, and I can see the hole that's come through. So I've got to get an electric cable up there and through. And then I can start thinking about putting the insulation back up and the plasterboard back up in the utility room there. As far as the final route for this wire, what this confirms, this hole, it confirms that going across here, I've got lots of wooden joists, wooden beams. So this ceiling is going to come down, and I've got to then clean all the beams, put insulation up, plasterboard, etc. So what we'll have all the way through from the utility room behind me, or the cloakroom as it's now going to be called, right the way through the kitchen there, this hallway kitchen, and then the boot room, we're going to have plasterboard in between all the beams. So all the beams are going to be exposed in this part of the house. It's going to look great, but this is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be messy, and I can see a lot of white paint or something on the beams. They all need cleaning off. That's not a job for now. This plasterboard is at least giving us a level of insulation. So if we take this down now in the middle of the winter, by the time I get to put insulation back up, it could be a couple of weeks once I've started. And if we get a cold snap, then we've just got cold air coming down. So this is probably a job for the spring. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this wire through.
Well, I finally got some washing out. It's quite a nice sunny day, but it's freezing. It's 3 degrees.
Yeah, beautiful day, but chilly.
That wind's biting, isn't it?
It is a bit.
And we've had a couple of nice days. I've got some washing and dry, but it's the electric companies have a rouge day today, and when the weather goes really low, they put the tariffs up, and it's to stop people consuming too much electric.
They're worried about the pressure on the system, so they try and reduce your consumption by putting the price up on the coldest days.
Yeah, and today's okay because I can put it out, but when it's grey and misty, I end up with all this wet washing everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we don't use the tumble dryer. Or,
not on a rouge day, no.
Or electric heaters because it's just too expensive.
Yeah. But there you go, there's method in the madness. Anyway, we're in the potager, for those of you who don't know, and behind me is one of our 2 wells. The other well is in the rosemary garden.
It's here.
Oh, there it is, sorry.
Not over
there. And we've talked quite some time now about getting the well water pumped into the potager. But we need 2 things to do that. We need electric, and there isn't any out here, and we need a well pump. But we've now solved the problem with the electric. This company, All Powers, contacted us December, wasn't it? Early December. Yeah. And they said, would you like to try one of our power banks out? And it's a lithium power bank. It's basically a lithium battery. It's got sockets on, it's got USBs and that sort of thing. So you can plug all sorts of things in.
Just in time to plug the Christmas tree lights in.
Yeah, we actually, that's not a reason to buy one of these things, but we haven't got any electric where the Christmas tree was in the kitchen. So we were actually plugging it into this every night. So yeah, it served a great purpose there. I've had my power drills. We've been charging up some of the batteries for the tools. The log splitter in the barn I was using off it. So it's really, really useful. And they do different configurations. This one's does up to 2,000 watts. But they do smaller ones and they do large ones, and large ones that you can actually link together to make an even bigger system. So this will easily power a well pump. So when they said, do you want to try it out? Yeah, well, of course we do.
You've been charging it up today, haven't you?
Yeah, and I've been charging it today. Bearing in mind it's the middle of January, so the sun's not at its strongest. It's charged about 40% of it. It's not really going to do much more now. But in the summer, it'll charge it from 0 to 100% in, I would imagine, no more than 4 hours. You
can't boil a kettle with it because
no,
kettle's quite high consumption.
Kettle is high watts. It's I think 2,200 watts, so that can't cope with it. But it doesn't. But there's plenty of things it can cope with. So all we need to do is connect via the plug a well pump to it, and we can pump water out now. So that's going to be perfect. And when we've rebuilt this greenhouse, it can happily sit inside the greenhouse out of the weather. And you've seen me charging it up with the solar panels there. They do different size solar panels. They do smaller ones for the smaller kits, and they do that's got 4 solar panels on.
We could probably run a greenhouse heater on there.
Oh, you would, yeah, on this one. An argument is that you could actually use a smaller one of these for the well pumps. Well pumps tend not to be that thirsty. They tend to be something like 800 to 1100 watts, so this will easily cope. So a little heater in the greenhouse would probably go in as well. So yeah. There is a discount code if you're interested in having a look at these things, but really useful if you've got a camper van or something like that, you can maybe get one of the smaller ones and so you've always got electric with you.
So you've got the solar panels up on the table. They fold up.
They fold up. I'll probably put them in here, for future. But they fold up so they can carry them with you easily. Really good system. Really, really pleased. Yeah. And we hope it's the start of a good relationship with All Powers, because we would like to go completely solar here, wouldn't we? There's a big leap from that to this place going completely solar, but it's a good start, I think. So there's a 10% discount code. So have a look at their website, because there may be a configuration that's really suits what you might want it for. We'll leave the link in the description, and we'll put it on the screen now. Thank you to All Powers. This is going to get a lot of use.
And that leads on to something else, which isn't sponsored.
No, it's not, but it is a well pump. So we now have the 2 things that we need. Yeah. Do you want to tell the story of the well pump?
Yeah, I think we spoke about this in an earlier video. You've been helping Tony this week, haven't you? And last week. And Karen and Tony just live outside the village. And their daughter Charmaine, she's 30 now, she was in an accident at work. She works with horses, and one of the big bale of hays fell down. It was a stack of 4, I think.
I think it was a stack of 4, and it just, for some
toppled.
Bizarre reason, it just collapsed, and she had her back to them. And
they had to airlift her to hospital.
Yeah.
She's had operations on her back, and she's been in the hospital nearly a year now.
Since February, yeah.
They're hoping to have her home by June. She's done a couple of home visits, hasn't she?
Just as trial runs.
But they're trying to adapt their home for wheelchair access, because we don't know if she's going to walk again, although she is getting a bit of feeling in her legs.
Yeah, it's going to be a long term
Or
for her,
feet.
bless her. But you might remember Tony and his friend Jeffrey came and helped us install our log burner. That was a good 14 months ago now.
Yeah.
So it's just really trying to return the favour. So I've been at his place a couple of days here and there, just helping him out. And they need to put ramps in because their place is on different levels. And they've got to widen doors.
Wasn't it?
It was an old farmhouse stroke barn, so
Yeah.
it's on different levels. So they've got to widen doors for wheelchair. They've got to, put ramps in, as I say. So yesterday we were putting a stud wall up. We got the stud wall up and all the wiring in it. So I'm just trying to help where I can, really. But basically last week I was picking Tony's brains about well pumps because they've got a well at their place, and so he was talking me through it. And yesterday when I went over there to help out, he suddenly presented me with a well pump he bought for us, which
It's amazing.
yeah, I mean, we help each other, and
Yeah.
we all help each other here. We do it just because we want to help each other, not for any reward. So it's really, really kind.
Yeah, I was really overwhelmed when you showed that.
Yeah, I was. So we now have our capability. So it's a big old solid beast, really heavy.
Quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I thought it was a heater when you bought it.
yeah. So that just goes to the bottom of the well, sits there, and you run some pipes up, and obviously it's electric, and that will plug into here. So
And
we
how
now
many
have
litres
capability.
does it pump?
I forget now. It's something like
Quite
500 or
a
600,
lot, which we don't,
500 600 litres a minute or something.
which we wouldn't use.
More than we need. We're only trying to water a few vegetables.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really, really kind of Karen and Tony, because they've had a traumatic year with all this going on.
Because she's actually been going through breast cancer and treatment, and
Yeah,
when Charmaine had her accident, she was having radiotherapy every day for about 4 weeks, and she had to go an hour to one hospital and then come back and drive an hour to see Charmaine at another hospital.
yeah,
And they go there, well, they were going every day, taking it in turns, but they're so tired now, aren't they?
yeah. So any help we can
Yeah.
give them, but it's really kind of them to do that. So
Yeah. So we've got the other well at the back, so
Yep.
we could possibly get another one of those.
it's worth getting
to
another
do
one.
water the back garden.
To put it in that, and then we can just
So
walk
that
this
will
around there.
save us electric and
Yeah.
water.
So we're set to go this year.
Yeah.
So thank you, Karen and Tony.
Yeah, thank you. And we've got a new patron this week, Paula.
Yes. Hello, Paula. Thank
So
you for joining us.
welcome. And thank you to all our new subscribers and old subscribers. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, but it will help us massively,
Yeah.
because it could be the difference between us being here or not, actually.
Yes.
So,
It's slowly building.
yeah, because
So-
since we came here in 2020, I mean, we had Brexit lockdown, me being ill, so it's really taken its toll, hasn't it? It's not how we planned it, basically.
No, best laid
But,
plans.
yeah.
So on that note, we shall see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.